An independent technical expert has 14 days to assess the billing dispute between Eskom and City Power, which seems to be as a result of the billing inconsistencies. Now, this has Eskom threatened to interrupt power due to outstanding debt by City Power. Now, yesterday, the entities met with Electricity Minister Dr. Kgosientsho Ramokgopa. Yelland, energy expert, is here to talk to us about what his take is on this current standoff. Chris, good afternoon to you. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for chatting to us. Now, before we even get into the latest with regards to this impasse and the meeting yesterday, let's just start with your take. I'm keen to hear this on what exactly do you think is going on here? Is it really as a result of the billing crisis?
Well, that is what it's being painted as. It's being painted as a technical matter involving metering and billing accuracy. But I'm not so sure about that. It seems to me that there are deep financial issues within City Power and within the city of Johannesburg, and that maybe this is a case of procrastinating and delaying the payments of outstanding amounts. Look, I'm just guessing there. We will see, because the agreement that was reached yesterday was that firstly, that City Power would settle 1.4 billion rand, that being its current account, immediately, and a further 1.6 billion rand for the following month, which is not yet due but will become due shortly. And that has to be settled before Eskom agreed to abort its legal action and its threats. So we're soon going to see whether the city of Johannesburg has got the money and whether it intends to pay. What is remarkable is that this dispute has been going on for 4 years, whilst these people in the room are just bickering and arguing and not getting down to sorting the problem out. And it's taken the minister, one short meeting to bang a few heads together and get the children in the room to behave like adults and to engage and to resolve this matter. And the minister has given them 14 days, after 4 years of bickering. Now they've got to sort this matter out in 14 days. And a report will come from the independent party. Both sides of this argument have agreed to abide by the outcome of this independent investigation.
And when it then, for you, where do you think this independent technical expert should look when it comes to assessing the situation?
Well, yeah, you remember the expert appointed is from SANEDI. SANEDI is a research body. It's part of the Central Energy Fund Group, part of the DMRE. It's a government body, and it's a technical body. And the matter has been painted as clearly a technical billing and metering issue. Now, if it is just a billing and metering issue, it can certainly be resolved within 14 days. It's a question of, is the bill accurate? This is not something that you argue about. The facts will speak for themselves. And we expect an answer. And I expect that a decision will be reached because this is not a negotiation. This is simply establishing the billing and metering facts of the matter. It's not a negotiation between two parties. It's not a mediation. And it's not it's nothing like that. It's simply to establish the facts and to clear this matter up. City Power claims that it is a billing inaccuracy. If it is, Eskom have got to correct it and got to sort this matter out.
And there's another issue. That when you speak to Eskom, they also speak about, and you speak to City Power, they talk about as well, illegal connections. And they don't seem to know, particularly City Power, they're not even sure how to deal with this one, because when you ask them, how do you begin to switch off illegal connections without prejudicing those who are paying for, their electricity? They say they're still trying to think about what needs to be put in place in terms of systems there. How then do they begin to deal with this one as well? Because it seems to be a headache.
Yeah. Look, let's first of all look at the issue between Eskom and City Power. Eskom is a bulk supplier of electricity to City Power. They can threaten to cut off and cut power, but in practice, it's almost impossible to do because there are embedded emergency services within the city, and by switching off a main incoming point from between Eskom and the city would result in massive outages, including all these emergency services. So I think this threat by Eskom to cut power is more of a threat to raise the pressure and to increase the focus and to focus the minds of the people at City Power and in government. And it has worked because the minister has stepped in and within a short space of time after doing what Eskom did, they focused the minds and come up with, with the way forward in a short space of time. So I think Eskom's actions has been very effective, but I don't think in the end they could have cut off power to the city. The other question is the collection of money owed by the residents and businesses within Johannesburg to City Power. Now that is a City Power problem. Eskom has similar problems, for example, in Soweto, collecting revenue from Soweto residents. City Power has the same problems, collecting money from residents and businesses within its environment or area of supply. It's a huge problem. It's been said that something like 50% of the prepayment meters in certain municipalities are not functioning and are vending free electricity because they've been tampered with or bypassed or incorrectly programmed, and one issue after another. But there is massive loss of revenue. And this is not limited to the city of Johannesburg. It's not even limited to municipalities. It covers Eskom areas, municipal areas, etc.
So will they be able to then pay, Chris, if there's this massive loss of revenue?
Well, that's the point I raised earlier.
Yeah.
Is this a metering and a billing problem as it's been painted? Or is it a question of the state of the financial position of the city of Johannesburg and City Power and its ability to pay? Many other municipalities are not paying their bills to Eskom, and it's due to their poor financial position and their own inability to collect revenue from their own customers. And it is being painted as a metering and billing problem, but I'm not so sure that there are not deeper financial issues involved.
Sure, Chris, let's see what happens then in 14 days. I'm keen to hear what do you think of what is being discovered here? Because as you say, it's a multi-layered problem, which really requires a deeper nosedive, in fact, into what exactly is going on here and to get them to be able to deal with this one. But I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for chatting to us. That's energy expert there, Chris Yelland.